Hey guys, Legion here. In this video I will rank all 14 marine species in Jurassic World Evolution 2 from worst to best, in my opinion of course. And if you disagree, you can take the time and leave your own list in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to help out the channel a ton and not miss any more videos, and to watch me continue building my better Jurassic World. And I do apologize for the long wait for this new video. I was sick, but now I'm back, so let's get right into the ranking, starting off with the last spot. In last place we have the Liopleurodon, and I feel like many people also dislike this design and feel like this is the worst one in the game, but there are also people who like this one, and I think it's fine if you like this one, but I just can't really get, like many people can't get over the way that it just looks like a crocodile, and trying to make it look weird and different really just didn't work out. I think the Kronosaurus in the game looks way more like a Liopleurodon, and in that way looks a lot better than this design. I just don't like this design, even though the skins for it are pretty nice, some of the better marine reptile skins, especially for the base game. So yeah, in last place, the Liopleurodon with its weird crocodile design. Next up we have the Elasmosaurus, and the Elasmosaurus sort of falls under the same thing. They were trying to give it a sort of weird and monstrous kind of look, and I feel like it just ended up not working out that well, even though I think that this monstrous face works a lot better than the one on the Liopleurodon, with it you know, sort of resembling like a sea monster and like a deep sea fish maybe, even though that just doesn't really make any sense for a creature like the Elasmosaurus. But it's not as bad as the Liopleurodon in my opinion. But I do think, again, some of these skins are actually quite nice, and you're gonna see some creatures later that are not gonna have some such nice skins, and that's why they're gonna be ranked quite low. But let's get to the next one. The next worst one, here we start getting to the pretty bad skins. The only thing that saves the Plesiosaurus and makes it better than the other ones in my opinion is that from far away it does look fine, and the body actually does look fine, just the face is weird. Like, why is it a snake? That's just a weird thing. Who decided to make this a snake? And then the skins are just really bad. The base colors are not that bad, even though something like this just looks weird and overly saturated, so the bright colors don't really work well on it. And then the pattern is just terrible. Like, what even is this? These are just some random little dots that don't even have any nice colors, and then just a sort of separated stripe on the top. It doesn't look good whatsoever. I don't like the Plesiosaurus pretty much. And yeah, let's get to the next one. But before we do that, something I noticed when doing this ranking is that the base game marine species are mostly a lot worse than the ones from the DLCs. So if you are missing any DLCs for Jurassic World Evolution 2 you still want to get, the best way to do that is to buy them from my partner Instantgaming via the first link in the description, where you can get crazy deals like the Feathered Species Pack for only €1 or €3 for the Biosyn expansion. And make sure to use my affiliate link when you do buy something there, as it helps out the channel a ton. Let's continue with the ranking. Probably one of the most overrated species in the game in my opinion. I didn't include it in my overrated species video, but it was definitely a runner-up for that list. So yeah, the Mosasaurus, it isn't that bad. The design still looks sort of like a Mosasaurus. I just feel like it would be nice if it was a bit more chunky, and the face also kind of looks weird, I think, like we already had with many of these marine reptiles. And then the skins for it are just really terrible. Like, what even is this? Like, look at this pattern, there's literally nothing changing. It's even worse than the Plesiosaurus pattern. And then the base skin colors are just pretty much nothing. You can make like a light Mosasaurus, you can make like a couple of differences, but none of them look nice. There's like no nice gradient or color transition, not even any counter shading, even though it's a marine creature. And yeah, the skins are very bad, the model doesn't look that good, it's just really overrated. And now we have the Tylosaurus, and I actually used to pretty much like this design and like it in the game, but what sort of just makes it worse and worse through time is of course the additions of the amazing lagoon creatures we got through the DLCs, and then of course the face. This one is another one where the face really just looks weird. Like, why does it look like an ogre? That's again a weird question, but why does it look like an ogre? Like, who designed this and who decided to make it look like an ogre? I don't get it. The body itself is pretty nice. I like the Tylosaurus, but I think it could be a bit more chunky maybe, and then also the face should just be changed. Like, the teeth should maybe be changed. Like, it just looks like an ogre to me, and I don't like that. But the skins for it are pretty alright, on not even bad. Like even for the Mosasaurus, but this is like a weird color, for example. But we do at least have some form of counter shading. It's not that good, but at least there's some kind of color transition, and the pattern does actually show up when you change it, and you can actually notice the pattern. So yeah, the Tylosaurus for that reason is better than the Mosasaurus. Now the last marine creature from the base game, we have the Ichthyosaurus, and the Ichthyosaurus, yeah, it's just really a filler species, honestly, because when you put it in a lagoon, it's so tiny, it feels just wrong in the huge lagoons. So when you actually use it, which I don't really do a lot, I like to use it with a big species in combination, but the problem is with the big species, they would usually, it doesn't feel right to cohab them most of the time, other than like a Shonisaurus or something, because a Megalodon, for example, would probably eat this tiny little Shonisaurus, especially if there were like a bunch of them. And so yeah, I don't use it a lot, and when you do use it, it's not the star of the lagoon, but it's nothing wrong with it. Again, from now on the species, they're not bad, and I don't really dislike them. It's just that it doesn't do, it's not the star of the lagoon, but it doesn't do anything wrong. The skins are fine, the skins are not bad, and yeah, the Ichthyosaurus, it's alright. And now we start getting into the territory of the marine creatures that are really, really nice and that I really do like. First of all, it's the Attenborosaurus, and I do have to decide for a ranking, and I'm putting the Attenborosaurus at this placement, but the other few marine species following this could also take its place because they're all just so great. Honestly, all of the DLC ones are really good. And yeah, the Attenborosaurus, it just looks very nice. The face looks super nice, which is something that the other Plesiosaurids so far have just failed on. Then the body looks very nice. You have also this nice counter shading. Right here the belly is white and then the body is darker. Then you also have these like stripes, these ridges, where then the pattern is on. This also is similar to the Plesiosaurus actually, but just a lot better. And I actually like how this looks. So yeah, the skins are nice, the species looks super good, the model is just great, and yeah, I really, really like the Attenborosaurus, but I do have to put these other creatures above it. I don't like the model of the Notosaurus as much as I do like the model of the Attenborosaurus, but there's one edge that it has above the Attenborosaurus, and that is that it goes onto the lagoon platform, and those lagoon platforms just always make the lagoons look so much nicer from a top view and so much more interesting, and you can add like special viewing areas for them, so this gives it the edge above the Attenborosaurus in my opinion, because there's just really nothing in the game like it, and it sort of has a vibe to me like an otter maybe, and I do like that, and I also do like the skins for it. The skins for it are pretty nice. I really like this one, for example. It looks sort of like an anaconda or something like that, which also the skin does, and this is probably one of the better models that Camp Cretaceous has put out compared to some of the other ones like the Pachyrhino or the Suchomimus or the, Tarbosaurus. But yeah, the skins are kind of nice. It also does glow in the dark, but it has like this pink stripe right here, but it's not the best glowing in the dark marine species for sure. Next up we have the Beta Liopleurodon or the Kronosaurus. It's basically similar to the Liopleurodon in this game. The Liopleurodon and Kronosaurus are pretty similar just from their body shape, but the Kronosaurus has just such a better design. The only thing that's not that good about it is the pattern in my opinion. I think the skins are nice, but then the pattern just kind of fails. It looks very weird and fake. I don't know, it just doesn't look like a real animal, maybe because it looks like it was just painted on, especially like these weird colors or this one. But I think some of them can work nice, or even just a plain pattern can work nice, and you can have something like this, nice counter shading. And it also, the Chronosaurus always looks so happy, and it has a really cool feeding animation for the shark feeder, probably one of my favorite ones, where it sort of hangs there for a bit and then makes a little dive whilst eating the shark. So yeah, I really like the Chronosaurus, and one of the best marine species in the game, for sure. So when I said that there's a better glowing or bioluminescent marine species, this is what I meant. The Styxosaurus, really one of the best species, marine species in the game. I love it so much. I think it's just pretty much perfectly done. Then you have like this awesome pattern. I think these tiger stripes work so well on a marine creature with a long neck like this. They could really maybe try this out on a sauropod. And yeah, because it works so well on a long-necked, you know, plesiosaurid. Then also the skin patterns themselves are so nice. Like these little dots right here, I think that looks really cool and makes it look very good. All of the colors work super well. You have some counter shading. And then of course, when it's nighttime, it glows like this, the Styxosaurus. And it just looks so good when you build like a coral reef or something for it. You have like this dimmer color, then you have this really bright blue and this really bright green. It's just so beautiful. I love the Styxosaurus, the pattern on it, and also the skin flaps, such a nice idea. But of course, these other species, I had to just rank them above the Styxosaurus. Here we have the Dunkleosteus ranked above the Styxosaurus, and this one is just so well made. And when this came to the game, it was so unique. One of the first, it was actually, I think, the oldest animal to be in the game, like where it lived at the time when it lived in real life. And it's so well made. The skins for it are really nice, I would say, because, you know, for a Dunkleosteus, of course, you don't even really need a pattern. I think you can just do a skin like this, but then the pattern makes it even nicer. Especially just when the pattern isn't that visible. I think it looks really good. Then you can have something like this. I like this skin, for example, very much, or like I just showed this one. But then you can also make something like this, a dark black Dunkleosteus, and then have it like have this nice stripe over here, or something like this. The skins are very nice. The model is super well made. It also eats from the shark feeder with a really fun animation, because it's probably the smallest species to eat from it. And then yeah, the model is just super well made. And yeah, who doesn't love the Dunkleosteus? And next up, the Megalodon, of course. And the Megalodon, at first I was kind of skeptical about it and not that excited. But when it actually came to the game and I first built something for it, built like my Megalodon Lagoon with that path art design, then I put it right there, put it into the lagoon with the kelp, and seeing it swim through there was just so amazing. It looks so good in the lagoons. I love sharks, who doesn't love sharks? And then just a big shark, I mean, what could be cooler than just a big shark? Then also you have some colorful skins for it. All of the skins are really great. I personally prefer either something like this, the color, and then a more dim pattern, and then maybe even some earth tones. I like that probably the best for it. And then really this skin I also am a big fan of, because it makes it look like a whale shark from the top, and I love whale sharks, they're super cool. So yeah, the Megalodon, just so well made. I mean, it's just a big shark, but who doesn't love sharks? And next up, the gentle giant, the Shonisaurus, and this animal just has the best skins, some of the best skins, if not the best skins in the game. I mean, look at this pattern. Whoever made this is an artist, and whoever made this is a genius. This is so well done. And then you also have this pattern with like the blue at the back. This is probably my favorite skin for it. Just so well made, so it looks so good. And then you can also make some colorful skins for it, and I think this works a lot better than some of the other colorful skins, especially this one. I think this one works quite well. You can do a color like this and it actually works. The the purple skins, they're also there. They're not that good, I would say, and look a little bit unrealistic, but if you want, you can make a purple Shonisaurus, but I prefer the more tame colors on it. Yeah, I love the Shonisaurus, who doesn't? It's so well made, and it's also pretty unique in the lagoons with being a huge ichthyosaur. Yeah, and let's get to the number one. It was a pretty close match and very hard to decide, but in number one we have the Archelon, and the Archelon is just, again, such a perfectly designed creature to me. The model looks so good, and then the animations are so well made, and it's super unique. It's the only turtle in the game. Of course, now we have two sort of shark-like creatures. We have two ichthyosaurs, and then the other ones, we have multiple mosasaurs and stuff like that. But a turtle, this is the only turtle in the game, of course, and it looks so good. The skins are really, really well made. I just love this pattern, and I think really you could just turn it on random and you would get a great skin every time. I mean, look at this, super colorful on like the black skin. Then you can even make something like this. I often like doing this, a brown skin with like a blue pattern on it. Yeah, just so well made, the Archelon. Then also, of course, it gets a bonus by being able to use the lagoon rocks, which always makes the lagoon a lot better and sort of upgrades it and adds a new dimension to it. So yeah, it's just awesome. It also has two social animations. Both of them are really fun. I love the Archelon, and it's my favorite marine creature in the game. Just look at its cute face. A giant turtle. Who doesn't love turtles? And yeah, the Archelon is at number one. But honestly, all of the marine species that I ranked at the top are really great, and all of them are worth buying in a DLC. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of my ranking. If you made it this far, comment, source, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.